Welcome to Real Food, and today I'm going to cook a very beautiful, delicious Victorian dish, which is called Kedgeree. Kedgeree is an amazing rice-based dish which was invented during Victorian era of British Empire, and it has a multitude of aromatic ingredients. Some of these ingredients you can see now in front of you: onions, curry powder, smoked haddock, rice, and a variety of other spices. So all of this makes this an absolutely amazing, delicious, aromatic dish, which you can, during Queen Victoria, would you believe it, they would serve this for breakfast quite often, but nowadays you can eat it for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner. It's a very versatile dish. It's a very aromatic, very filling, and very exotic even, because of the spices and the way everything is arranged, and there's egg here as well. So this is a real jam. I'm going to cook this jam today, and I'm going to share with you all of the ingredients and nuances and secrets of how to make it even more delicious than it already is. One of the key ingredients in this dish is smoked haddock. If you don't have smoked haddock, you can use any white fish. You can use cod, and it's not necessary to have it smoked. You can also use, I've seen recipes where they use salmon, and again, it doesn't need to be smoked, but it will be poached, and it will be poached in cream or milk, and that's part of the exotic nature of this dish. So we need to poach it in milk or cream, which will make this dish an absolute gem later on. So what I've already done, I've used basmati rice, and I already soaked it for about 30 minutes. So you can prepare your rice the way you like it, but the most important ingredient in all of this, and in rice preparation, will be onions. I'm using red onion, but you can use a white onion, it doesn't matter. Curry powder, you would need some curry powder. If you don't have curry powder, we can make it ourselves. So it uses ground coriander, it uses cumin, and it uses turmeric. These are the three main ingredients in curry powder. So if you don't have the mixture prepared like I have here, we can use all these different ground ingredients, spicy ingredients for the curry mixture. So this is quite an important element, but it's not going to be a curry dish as such. It's going to be a very, very mild fragrance, almost, I'll call it, to this dish. So don't expect it to be a very hot and spicy curry dish. This is not what it seems because of the curry powder. So with all these things, I think what I'm going to do now, I might start with yes, I might start preparing my curry paste with onions. So that will be my next step. And so with onion, it's going to be a relatively simple process. I'm going to chop my onion finely. As I mentioned before, you don't have to use red onion. You can use, I just wanted to make this dish even more colorful and more interesting than it already is, so that's why I decided to use red onion. But you could use any onion you've got, even shallots. So this is to prepare our curry paste. So we're going to chop onions. So I'm just going to peel this layer, and gently. So yeah, basically what I'm doing, I'm just peeling this onion, and I'm removing the outer layer, because some of the outer layers with the red onion can be really thick, so I don't want this thickness in my, because it's going to form my curry paste. So here we are. So I've removed, that's it. So these are my onions, and now I'm going to chop them finely. So here we are. So I'm going to create, because these onions are going to be fried gently in butter and olive oil with my curry spices, and this is what will turn our rice into a very aromatic, delicious, spicy version. But again, I'm not going to use too much of my spice powder, so it's going to be fairly gentle and mild version of curry. So here we are. So this is going into my frying pan. So here we are. So I've got my onions now frying in butter and olive oil, and I will start adding my my spices to this mixture. And the key ingredient. So, and as I was telling you, the key ingredient here is our curry powder, and you can use coriander. And in fact, I will add more coriander powder myself, because I want it to be more aromatic, and I want to have a little less turmeric, because turmeric is a very poignant spice. So you either love it or you hate it. I don't hate it, but I can't say that this is my favorite one either. So so I'm going to start adding some coriander. So this is my coriander. I might need to be a bit more aggressive with it, because coriander is something I really enjoy. So and now I'm going to start adding curry. So curry, and you will see it will immediately acquire this golden yellow color, and this is turmeric in this curry. So turmeric is the main ingredient that creates this beautiful golden color in here. So we need to continue frying our onions until they tenderize. Okay, so here we are. So my onions are now getting ready for the next stage. What I've done, I've added my curry powder, I've added also additional coriander powder, and I've also added a little bit of saffron. If you don't like saffron, you don't have to add it, so you don't need it. But I personally really like saffron, and therefore I think it will be a really nice addition. And also saffron, I think, works really well with this aromatic profile, and its color profile is also adding additional golden yellow to my rice. So overall, I think saffron is a really nice touch here, but you don't have to add it if you don't want to. So, and you basically cook it for 5 minutes or so until your onion is tender, until it absorbs all of the flavors, all of the butters and oils, and then it's ready to be mixed with your rice. And then water will be added, and rice will continue cooking with this aromatic onion-based and curry-based sauce. So we're now going to the next stage of our preparation. And so here's our next stage. So this curry and onion based sauce is now, I'm now mixing with my rice. And my rice, I washed it. I also soaked it for 30 minutes in water before. So this rice is now soaked in water, and it's now, I'm mixing it now with this curry based sauce. And I will also add salt. And you can add salt to taste, as much salt as you like, as you need. For this I've got 100 grams of rice, and therefore I will add maybe half a teaspoon of salt to this mixture, and then I will fill it with 200 milliliters of water, and this rice will continue cooking. And this will be our base. This will be the base for our Victorian dish. Here we are. So I've just added 200 milliliters of water, and I continue mixing. I've also added salt. I've added half a teaspoon of salt to this mixture. I think that's enough. I'm going to try. Yeah, it does taste fairly good. And now this mixture goes on heat, and I'm going to cook it for basically until my rice is ready, until water evaporates and I get a nice, dry, oily, beautiful, spicy rice. So this goes on heat now. So I've now put it on heat. I will wait. I'll bring it to boil, and then I will reduce heat, and I will continue cooking this rice until ready. So it should take at least 10 minutes or so before it's ready. So and this will be our base for our kedgeree. And then we're going to start the second stage of preparation. We're going to start preparing our fish. We'll be poaching our fish in cream. So that will be our next stage. Okay, here we are. So while our rice is cooking, we're going to start preparing our fish. So in this case we're using smoked haddock, and we're going to cook it. You can use, I've just filled my frying pan with water, and I'm going to add also cream, but you can use milk instead of water, and maybe I've got double cream. You could use single cream or no cream, but because I didn't have milk, I'm going to use this cream, and our fish is going to cook in this creamy sauce. Look at that. These are amazing. Double cream, delicious. So eventually our fish will soften its smoky aromatic profile, so it's going to be more creamy than smoky, because this is smoked haddock. But you can also use instead of smoked haddock, you could use cod or even salmon. But if you're using salmon, then you just poach it in water or on steam, and that should work just fine. But that's how we prepare our fish. And in our case, I don't need additional salt, because it's already quite salty. It's smoked, so it's got some salt in it. But if you like more salt, you can add some salt. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys that our rice is pretty much there. And look, it's dry now. Water has evaporated. I'm not going to open because it's going to steam my lens in the camera. But rice can now be taken off heat, and it will just stand and continue cooking while standing. And here we're going to start preparing our fish. So our fish goes in, and our fish is now going to cook in this delicious creamy sauce. Okay guys, I'm just checking on our fish. Look, it's been poaching in this milky, creamy sauce for a few minutes now, and it's started to fall into these flakes, fall apart. That means it's ready. So this fish will go on top of our rice. Our rice is also looking delicious. And we can now gradually start preparing our third major ingredient, and this will be hard-boiled eggs. So hard-boiled eggs are now going to be prepared, and these will go on top of our kedgeree plate. Okay, we can now start putting some of our rice into our plate as a base. Here we are. Look at this gorgeous rice. So this is the base of our kedgeree. So here we are. So I've now taken fish, and I've laid these fish flakes on top of rice. So this is how it's done, and this is how they served it during Victorian time. And the final ingredient, we also need boiled egg spread around in a beautiful arrangement. It will be both decorative and nutritious, and this will be our kedgeree. So you've now seen how to prepare, almost seen how to prepare kedgeree. So we now need to boil eggs, and eggs will go on top, and this will be the final stage. So one more stage and we will be ready. Okay, here we are. So the final ingredient of our kedgeree is egg. It's actually usually hard-boiled egg, but in this case I was a little soon to get my eggs out of boiling water, but I think it's not going to spoil. In fact, if anything, it will only add additional taste. You also sprinkle it with lime juice before eating, and we're pretty much ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed this recipe. Let me wish you bon appetit, and we'll chat again soon.